Stef.
Hey! On today's episode, we'll be learning how to make a sweet version of a favorite fall classic recipe, butternut squash soup. Butternut squash is a great ingredient to use because it can be cooked as a sweet recipe or a savory recipe. For the sweet version of this recipe, you'll need a tablespoon of olive oil, 1 green apple, 4 cups of chicken broth, a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, half a yellow onion diced, a half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, and about 3 pounds of butternut squash. You can buy it like this, which is just all ready to cook, or you can buy the whole thing in the grocery store. But if you do that, you have to peel it and take all the seeds out. So if you buy it like this, it saves you a lot of time. So your first step is cutting the squash. About this size. Now peel your apple. Make sure you get the seeds out and cut them in pieces like your squash. In a large pot, put about a tablespoon of olive oil and cook your onions. Cook on medium heat until they become translucent. Now that your onions are cooking, add in your apples and butternut squash. Pour in the chicken broth. Cook this on medium heat until the squash and apples become tender, about 10 minutes. You'll know it's ready when you can stick a fork in it. Now we're going to blend it to turn it into a soup. You can use a blender, you can use a food processor, you can use a potato masher, whichever you have in your kitchen. Make sure you drain the liquid with your spoon first. You can use a slotted spoon if you have one. The consistency of your soup is your choice. You can puree it down to a liquid, or you can leave it a little chunky. Now take your new blended mixture and pour it back in your pot. Mix it back in with the chicken broth, and now we're going to add the seasonings. Add the salt, the nutmeg, and the brown sugar. Mix it all together and your soup is finished. Wasn't that easy? You can leave your soup simmering for as long as you need. Sprinkle a little pinch of nutmeg on top and you're ready to go. It'll be ready in less than 30 minutes. And it's a great recipe for the fall season, both as an appetizer or an entree. Click here if you'd like to see my savory butternut squash soup recipe with a secret ingredient. And as always, keep it classy.
That's my baby. Thank you so much.
No, turn it up.